This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Ukwade, and this is Africa Now. 150 people have died of starvation in Ethiopia's Tigray region as the humanitarian crisis worsens in the region, the rebel group says. The Ethiopian government had previously rejected accusations by the UN that it is blocking aid into the region. TPLF's agriculture chief Atinu Mezegbu said people and livestock were dying from the lack of food and medicines, especially women and children, and that the crisis might be bigger than what they may know. According to the UN, at least 100 trucks of food and non-food items must enter the region every day to meet the humanitarian needs, but less than 500 trucks have arrived since mid-July. In a meeting with President Alpha Conde's ministers and senior government officials on Monday, the leaders of a military coup in Guinea promised to set up a transitional government of national unity after ousting the president and dissolving his cabinet. Coup leader Mamadi Doumbouya did not say what the transition would entail or give a date for a return to democratic elections. The new military leaders are now under pressure from the condemnation of international powers to offer a plan beyond the toppling of the old order and to reassure investors that Guinea's significant oil exports would not be cut. The Economic Community of West Africa states ECOWAS will on Thursday hold an extraordinary summit in Guinea, according to a staff memo. The ambassadors of the G7 group of advanced economies urged Tunisia's president on Monday to appoint a new head of government as a matter of urgency and return to a constitutional order in which an elected parliament plays a significant role. President Kais Saied seized governing powers in July in moves his opponents called a coup. President Saied said his intervention was in line with the constitution and necessitated by a national emergency due to political paralysis, high COVID-19 rates and protests. He has vowed that rights would not be affected. And at least 30 people were shot or hacked to death by rebels in Northeastern Democratic Republic of Congo, local and UN sources said on Monday. The Allied Democratic Republic Forces, a group linked to the so-called Islamic State, has been blamed by members of civil society for the attack on Saturday in the province of Ituri. The United States has deemed the ADF a terrorist group, and it is considered the deadliest of scores of armed militias that roam the mineral-rich eastern DR Congo. 27 people belonging to a separatist group that has been declared a terrorist organization have been arrested by Algerian authorities following clashes between protesters and police in Kerata town in the north. Police say officers were injured during the incident. The 27 belong to the movement for the autonomy of Kabylie that is seeking independence for the Kabylie region. The suspects have been accused of attempting to sow terror and strife among citizens by order of parties abroad. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You are watching Africa Now. More stories coming your way after the break. So stay tuned. Welcome back. Sao Tome and Principe's former infrastructure minister and opposition leader Carlos Vila Nova has won the country's presidential elections runoff, beating the ruling party's candidate in the delayed election according to provisional results announced by the Electoral Commission. Vila Nova won the vote with 57.3%, while his rival, former Prime Minister, received 42.46% of the vote. Vila Nova, 65, will succeed 79-year-old Evaristo Carvalho, who did not seek a second 5-year term in the largely ceremonial posts. President Paul Kagame has called on all stakeholders in the justice sector to pool their efforts and find a lasting solution to the rising crimes related to sexual and gender-based violence in the country. Addressing a cross-section of senior officials during the ceremony to launch the 2021-2022 judicial year that was held at Parliament, Kagame called for tougher punishment to send a warning to those who rape women and children and impregnate teenage girls. Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta, in his proposal to the East African community, wants to accommodate new members from Central, Northern and Southern African states. The Kenyan leader, who is the current EAC chair, wants this expansion to form his legacy at the regional bloc. The expansion plan, if followed through, would trigger amendments to the 1999 treaty establishing the EAC, but the decisions would only be made possible if all the EAC partner states agree in the next summit scheduled at the end of this year. On Monday, Tanzania launched mobile health facilities that are aimed at curbing the spread of tuberculosis in the country. The Minister of Health, Dr. Dorothy Gwajima, said Tanzania still has a long way in the fight against tuberculosis because out of 85,000 persons, only 63% have been treated, while 49 people have not been diagnosed, which means tuberculosis continues to spread. The country received 5 mobile clinics, 160 motorcycles, and 179 ECG machines that are to be distributed in 5 zones so as to reach out to people, especially in rural areas where there's no accessibility to such services or incur high cost of reaching health centers. And Ivory Coast moved ahead of Cameroon in Group D of World Cup qualifying thanks to a 2-1 win over the indomitable Lions in Abidjan on Monday. Ivory Coast moves to 4 points from their 2 games, just 1 ahead of Cameroon. Mozambique can join the Elephants on 4 points if they beat Malawi on Tuesday. Earlier, South Africa scored in the 83rd minute to secure a 1-0 win over visiting Ghana to move to the top of Group D. Uganda managed a goalless draw with visitors Mali in Kampala in Group E. And that is Africa Now. For more updates, to visit our website at www.tostvnetwork.com. Follow us and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube to stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Abigail Ukwade. Thanks for listening.